This is a can of Fanta in America, and this is a can of Fanta in England. They are both the same flavour of orange, but look at the colour difference. That looks like a radioactive chemical. The total sugars in the American one is 44 grams of sugar, and the sugars in a British one is 15 grams. I think this should be illegal. How are they allowed to sell that? I can imagine that the average American probably consumes this whole can in 3 gulps. With that amount of sugar, that is sickening. I'll be honest, it's got that much sugar in that it's actually too sickly and sweet. This tastes more like orange juice, and this just tastes like sugar. Just straight sugar. Don't know what they're putting in for it to look that different. If you're an American, please can you tell me whether you can actually drink all of this without not feeling ill?
Ever notice when you eat ultra-processed food, from chips and cereal to fast food burgers and donuts, after the first bite, everything kind of turns to mush in your mouth? That's not by accident. So let's talk about what purpose it serves. Again, this is my series where I share interesting facts I've learned while reading for research as a food scholar. This one is from ultra-processed people. Softness is a near universal quality when it comes to ultra-processed food. Even though you might not categorize some of the foods I listed as soft because they're marketed as crunchy or crispy, sticky, and spongy, the fundamental base of their construction is a pulverized blob, usually made up of some kind of starch. Why does this matter? Well, when foods are really soft, or what the author refers to as pre-chewed, it makes it way easier to eat. For example, you can easily finish a McDonald's burger in under a minute. Not only does this encourage us to eat a lot faster, it makes it harder for our brains to calculate how much we've actually eaten and send signals telling us to stop. In one study, researchers found that the combination of softness in ultra-processed food as well as their energy density caused participants to eat 17 more calories per minute than those eating an unprocessed diet. The confusion of cues in our brain also causes confusion in our bodies. Take Pringles as an example. Its saddle-like shape aligns very well with our tongue, so almost every taste bud we have is in contact. Then when we chew it, it fractures unevenly, something that food engineers would call catastrophic failure. This, alongside the high umami content that is pumped in using synthetic flavor, prompts our bodies to expect a more nutritional food to enter our system rather than a little bit of potato starch. So what do? We reach for another and another and another in that quest for the expected nutrition. Not only are these soft, ultra-processed foods bad for our health, they're literally changing our bones. Bones need to be used to grow. Since our foods now don't need to be chewed that much, it's unsurprising that more people, especially children, have jaws that are actually too small for their face. Now, you might be thinking, well, the solution is just to make things more chewy, right? But that's exactly the cycle that big food wants us to be trapped in. It's the genius of reformulation, offering solutions for problems that they themselves created. Adding gums to make food more chewy, adding probiotics so the foods don't hurt our gut microbiome as much, adding artificial sugar so that the foods aren't as calorie dense. But as I discussed in my last video, technological improvements always come with their own biases and unintended consequences. Relying on big food to care for our health will never work out for us because the solutions they offer aren't meant to resolve anything. They're meant to sell us more product. What we need is less corporate control in our food system and more power in the hands of the people so we can decide for ourselves how and what to eat.
Americans, you fat fucks. I got all of the snacks that I've seen in the movie since I was a kid, and I'm going to try them. American snacky doodles. Okay, first up, I've got a Twinkie. Now, I've seen these in movies since I was a little kid. Adam Sandler was eating one at one point, and I'm so excited. It looks like a little finger sponge. Also, at first I thought this said Hooters, and I was like, oh wow, big titties and finger sponges. Anyways, let's give this a try. Okay, let's go. That is delicious. No wonder you guys are such big fatty McFatfucks. That is like, oh my god, the level of sugar, the level of cream. I can taste my arteries clogging. I can taste a heart attack. It's delicious. It's so processed, so much sugar. I love it. This is the type of shit I love. Okay, next up, Twizzlers. These look like just red licorice straps. Just a little something to take the edge off. 1738. All right, let's try them. Bon voyage. Okay. So it tastes like if you mixed a strawberry with just like an old leather boot. Just mix those together, and the boot is really old. It's like been passed down through generations. That is what this is. A strawberry leather boot. 1 out of 10. Okay, next up, probably the item I'm most excited about. Takis Fuego. They're blue. And there's a little temperature thing. Extreme. I've seen everyone, Takis. Pass me the Takis. Sophomore, junior, 401k. You know, go to Walmart. Alright, enough of this dilly-dallying. Let's tuck in. Oh, that'll put a bit of a pep in your step. Ooh la la. Ooh, I like those. They're yummy. They're spicy. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10. Mr. Wop, would you like some? Sir Fetty? No? He's not hungry. He ate earlier.
I go to college in the Netherlands, and every time I come back to the US, I have to see a nutritionist because my stomach is in shambles. So I want to talk about the 2 biggest differences I've noticed between the food in the Netherlands and the food in the US. Number 1 is not talked about enough. When you go to a grocery store in the US, you have like sugar-free yogurt, sugar-free candy. You have all of these substitutes that seem like the healthier option, but it's actually just extremely processed and hard for your stomach to digest. And no wonder you can't find these alternatives in Europe. Number 2, the supermarkets in the US have so many options. If you go to a cereal aisle in the US, you're gonna have like 40 different cereals to choose from. And when you go to the cereal aisle in Europe, you have like 5 different cereals because half of the ingredients that are in the cereals in the US are just banned. So it is to no surprise that my nutritionist recommended me the Mediterranean diet. So she's putting me back on a European diet, which is basically just whole grains, vegetables, healthy fats, fish. She even recommended wine because it's an antioxidant. Try and cut out all this stuff in the next 3 weeks, and I'm gonna keep you guys updated.
Should you eat McDonald's French fries even once in a while? After you hear this, I think you'll say no. First of all, you can see how perfectly white they are because they allow no blemish in their potatoes. And how they accomplish that? They spray it with one of the most toxic pesticides on the planet. After the farmer sprays it, he can't be in the field for 5 days. Oh, after they harvest them, it has to go in a special atmosphere-controlled environment for 6 weeks. That's how toxic it is. It's not safe to eat.
What did moms across America find after testing Chick-fil-A sandwiches?
We found an aviary contraceptive in them, narcobazine, in Chick-fil-A sandwiches. And so we are extremely concerned about people who have been eating Chick-fil-A because we know it's quite addictive.
So not only aviary contraceptives in there, but they just brought back antibiotic chicken.
So after we put out that information that we found an aviary contraceptive, they took away the phrase that they have, which is no antibiotics ever. They took it down off their website and they put up no.
It's not just fast food. Everything has gotten more expensive and worse. A process called Enshittification. My mom and I were just talking about it. It seems like companies are opting for lower quality, cheaper ingredients to preserve profits. Sometimes I wonder if McDonald's tasted better when I was a kid just because I remember it so well. When I ate it the most as an adult, it was because it was just the most convenient. Maybe school and work had made me too busy to cook regularly. Hello everyone, my name is Anthony. I am the judge, the jury, and the executioner.
Somebody tell me what's going on at Coke. This is the 3rd 6-pack that I've gotten that does this. They're not carbonated and they're flat. Like if I wanted Pepsi, I would have bought Pepsi. What is happening?
What the hell is this?
That would be right.
Sauce did not do that.
My radish was moving like that. Do you see that? What is that?
First of all, I soaked this meat in a vinegar, and yes, it changed color. Like, it went from pink to brown. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just the vinegar that got in there. But why is this beef holographic?
Anybody ever seen an asparagus like this? Check this out. Fresh out the box. Look at this. What the hell happened to this guy? I have never seen an asparagus like that before in my...
Dog, so this used to be an apple. What the fuck is this? This was an apple. Look at the stem.
I could be wrong, but I was under the impression that ice cream would melt after sitting out all night. Now it looks like somebody shit in my sink that had really bad diarrhea from Taco Bell or maybe White Castle.
They are selling fake avocados in Texas.
Can someone please tell me why cheese in Europe is white? Why is it not yellow like normal American cheese? They look very unappetizing and are very smelly too.
Of course I start my day with coffee on an empty stomach to spike my blood sugar. It's full of mold, sprayed with pesticides, and in a microplastic cup. And on to breakfast, we have our ultra-processed sugar and chemicals to start the day, because who has time to cook in the morning? We have to get to our matrix jobs. Okay, only have 15 minutes for my lunch break, so I got my favorite Chick-fil-A. I was feeling healthy, so I went with the grilled chicken instead of the fried.
Well, the grilled chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A has over 100 ingredients. You know that, right?
No, it should be just chicken, lettuce, tomato.
Yeah, plus 95 laboratory chemicals. And your Chick-fil-A sauce is a 1 out of 100 on the Oasis app.
What? Oh, I'm just hitting my afternoon energy crash, so I need my Monster Energy with a bunch of fake sugar and dyes. And for dinner, let's just keep it cheap and easy. Frozen meals with restructured chicken are my favorite for high blood pressure and cardiovascular risk. It's the perfect matrix day of eating.
Why do y'all eat like y'all grocery stores only open once every 30 days? Like y'all just rationing, like y'all just eating what y'all have left in the cabinets. I just watched a woman from the UK make a French fry sandwich. She put it on 2 slices of wheat bread with some butter on there. The bread didn't even look hot, toasted, warm, none of that. I guess the fries was hot. She put some cold shredded cheese on top of the fries with some mayo and some ketchup. Is that a fulfilling dinner for y'all? That's a normal dinner, or a lunch snack? That's what y'all eating? I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was waiting on the baked beans. I thought she was gonna post some baked beans on the sandwich. That's something that I feel like a child would make. Like, make me a French fry sandwich. You know what I'm saying? No meat, no protein, not even a tomato on that mug. If you from the UK, you need to stitch me and tell me what y'all be eating for real. Because this have to be... Y'all gotta be playing.
This is a message for Europeans. This is American food. 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 And this is American food.
Yes, I forgot that roasting a turkey or a chicken is an American idea. Because for the thousands of years that we've existed longer than you, we never thought of that concept. What do you mean roasting a turkey is American food? It's not. Yes, I do know that turkeys originated from the Americas, but the concept of roasting a poultry isn't exclusive. It's just another bird, really. Also, Americans love to point out that mac and cheese is their invention. When Europeans say they don't have any of their own food, they always go, well, mac and cheese is actually British. Also, you know apple pie, the staple of American desserts? Apple pie is also British. So yeah, there's some fun facts for you. Also, marshmallow with sweet potato, you can have that. I don't know if that is ours, but you hold on to that one. Thank you.
Have you ever noticed that when people are poor and fat, they'll have these really strange body proportions? Like, they'll be really big on top with these little skinny legs, or just in some way or another, they are just built horribly. When people are big and they have money, they never get those strange proportions. My guess for why this happens is that when you're poor, you only have access to the worst food imaginable. Especially in America, it's probably stuff no human should be eating anyway. When you have money, you're probably overindulging, but the things that you are eating are not necessarily as bad, so it doesn't sit on your body in such a strange way. For example, in my industry, it's very common to do a business dinner at least once a week. And at these business dinners, you're ordering multiple of every item on the menu. But eating 3,000 calories worth of steak and Brussels sprouts is going to sit on your body much differently than eating 3,000 calories of McDonald's. All of this to say that the way that a person carries fat is usually a pretty good indicator of their socioeconomic status, at least to some degree. So if your back is humongous and you are trying to improve your life in some way, narrow the back down. That's a good place to start because it is excluding you from a lot of rooms before you even get a chance to, really to even find out that they exist.
Fast foods have gotten substantially worse. My favorite example of this is Pizza Hut, and the fact that you can almost pinpoint its quality decline to a singular moment in the 90s, the Bigfoot pizza. Let me give you a history of what really happened. The Bigfoot was a giant pie that Pizza Hut pushed in their mid-90s for a pretty cheap price. But how did they keep that cost down? Well, they sourced lower quality, cheaper ingredients, of course. And wouldn't you know, when the Bigfoot went bye-bye, those cheaper ingredients stuck around and were used on their regular pizzas. Remember in the 80s when Pizza Hut cheese used to stretch as you took a bite? Now it just kind of falls apart and dissolves in your mouth, far less elastic. Toppings and seasonings went by the wayside as well. You can look up Pizza Hut corporate training videos from the 70s or 80s on YouTube, and they make a whole show of finishing each pizza with fairy dust, a mixture of parmesan, oregano, name them, before putting the pies into the oven. But sure, they no longer do this as a cost-cutting measure. You can even replicate this at home. Next time you make a pizza in your oven, sprinkle some parmesan and oregano over the top. Your kitchen will smell like Pizza Hut hasn't in 30 years. The only advantage to franchises was the affordability. That's completely gone now. If we are going to go out and drop $100 bill on a date night dinner, you better believe it will be at a locally owned restaurant that's invested in our community. In fact, there is a steakhouse in my town that's been operating for over 8 years. It's twice the cost of going to a Longhorn or Texas Roadhouse or other equivalent restaurants, but I'll happily pay it because the quality is so much higher in every aspect of the experience. The food, drinks, wait staff, and atmosphere is heads and shoulders above any chain I could go to within an hour's drive. I've requested the same waiter every time I've gone in the past 10 years and gotten him every single time because he's made a career out of the place, because I treat him right. The staff there knows my family by our first names and will come as warmly every time we go. You cannot get that at a chain restaurant. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. So what I usually say is stay alert, stay focused, don't fail for the government psyop. Nice to meet you. Until the next time, thank you for your attention to this matter.